Imagine your rent dropping by more than 40% in a single year. It may sound like a dream come true for tenants, but for landlords, it signals a harsh economic reality. Today, we delve into the top 10 U.S. cities where rental prices are collapsing in 2025, uncovering the forces behind these dramatic shifts, the impact on local communities, and what these changes mean for both property owners and prospective renters. Our journey starts in Sarasota, Florida, where the rental market has experienced an astonishing decline. In just 1 year, average monthly rents plummeted from $3,290 to $1,886, a staggering 42.67% drop. Sarasota's rapid decline is not arbitrary. It is the result of deliberate, proactive housing policies. With zoning deregulation and an infusion of $40 million into affordable housing projects, the city has redefined its rental landscape in a matter of months. The transformation in Sarasota raises urgent questions. How do such measures affect long-term market stability, and what do they mean for landlords facing mounting losses? In Providence, Rhode Island, another significant player in this unfolding drama, rental prices have fallen by 19.22%. Rents have shifted from $2,513 to $2,030 year over year. Providence has taken a strategic approach by easing housing development restrictions and streamlining permitting processes, making it easier for new projects to emerge. This legislative flexibility has contributed to a more competitive market where the traditional rent hike is no longer guaranteed. As landlords scramble to adjust to this evolving scenario, the ripple effects are felt throughout the local economy. Traveling to Minneapolis, Minnesota, we observe a slightly more subdued, yet still impactful trend. Here, rents have decreased by 11.14% over the past year. In Minneapolis, the significant reduction is linked to deliberate zoning reforms and an upsurge in housing construction. This city's experience illustrates a critical benchmark. When policy meets supply, market dynamics shift rapidly, leaving traditional investment strategies in the dust. Landlords in Minneapolis, once accustomed to steady returns and predictable growth, now face a new reality dominated by rapid market adjustments and volatile tenant expectations. Austin, Texas, renowned for its vibrant culture and booming tech scene, tells a story of transformation through its own set of challenges. The median asking rent in Austin has dipped by 8.8% year over year, reaching $1,385 in May 2025, the lowest level recorded since February 2021. This decline is primarily driven by the surge in multifamily housing construction. Austin now leads the nation with a remarkable rate of 64.5 new units per 10,000 people, reflecting a nationwide strategy to meet growing demand while tempering rent increases. However, for many landlords, this aggressive expansion has translated into an environment where high vacancy rates and reduced rental income force them to reconsider long-term investment plans. Yet the cities experiencing the most dramatic shifts are not confined solely to large, headline-grabbing metropolises. In Columbus, Ohio, rent has dipped by 3.5%, while Nashville, Tennessee, shows a 3.4% decline. Portland, Oregon, matches Nashville's 3.4% drop, and San Antonio, Texas, witnesses a 2.2% reduction. These figures, while lower than some of the larger markets, signify broader systemic changes occurring across diverse regions. The reduction in rents is emerging as a widespread consequence of evolving housing policies, fiscal initiatives, and changes in tenant demand. Each percentage point represents a tug-of-war between market forces and governmental interventions aimed at making housing more accessible. Beyond these more prominent cities, smaller markets like Athens, Ohio, The Villages, Florida, and Sunbury, Pennsylvania, are also feeling the pressure. Athens, Ohio has seen rents drop by 8.51%, an indication that regional shifts far beyond major metropolitan centers are playing out. The Villages, Florida, with a 7.21% decline, and Sunbury, Pennsylvania, with a 6.73% reduction, further highlight that the phenomenon of falling rents is both pervasive and complex. In these communities, what was once a stable market is now marked by a sense of uncertainty as long-established investment models confront unprecedented disruption. National data lends further weight to this narrative. Apartment List's July report indicates that the median rent has fallen by 0.8% year over year, a subtle yet significant indicator when combined with an historic high vacancy rate of 7.1%. These numbers underscore an era where new multifamily units flood the market, increasing competition and complicating property management strategies. Experts warn that such a vacancy rate can signal a cautious approach by tenants who know that an abundant supply means there's always an alternative if landlords do not deliver value. Underpinning these observable trends is a broader economic narrative where traditional rent growth signals are giving way to more accelerated market corrections. Zillow has weighed in with projections that suggest rental growth is decelerating for 2025. Predictions indicate that while single-family rentals might see growth hovering around 2.7%, multifamily properties may only grow at a meager 1.3%. These forecasts hint at a structural shift in the rental market dynamics, a market where future increments are more subdued, as supply continually outstrips demand in many key areas. For landlords, this means recalibrating expectations, while for tenants, it opens up possibilities for more affordable living, even as the market readjusts its fundamentals. Amidst this landscape of change, the palpable tension among landlords is understandable. The rapid decline in rental prices leaves property owners scrambling to manage reduced income streams, adjust property values, and rethink investment strategies that once relied on constant rent escalations. For local communities, the fallout is twofold. On one hand, tenants benefit from lower rent, potentially easing the burden on household budgets and allowing for greater discretionary spending. On the other hand, landlords, both large-scale investors and individual landlords alike, must now grapple with reduced returns, a scenario that can ripple into broader economic uncertainty, potentially affecting municipal budgets, property maintenance, and the overall vibrancy of local industries. Each city's experience is embedded within distinct local policies and market conditions, yet together they paint a picture of nationwide disruption. Policy measures that once seemed beneficial for catalyzing affordable housing are now contributing to market volatility. The aggressive easing of building restrictions appears to be a double-edged sword. While it spurs the creation of new housing units, it simultaneously accelerates market saturation and price reductions. This delicate balance between providing more opportunities for tenants and sustaining a stable income for property owners is at the heart of the current economic dilemma. As we advance through the details of these shifting markets, it is crucial to delve deeper into the forces that drive these changes. Many analysts argue that the burst of multifamily development isn't merely a byproduct of relaxed regulations. It also responds to a nuanced demand side of the equation. For many renters, especially in rapidly growing urban areas, the push for affordable, well-located living spaces is stronger than ever. With the influx of tech workers, students, and young families, cities are evolving into competitive environments where the gap between what landlords can charge and what tenants are willing to pay has narrowed substantially. The aggressive supply expansion, evident in cities like Austin and Minneapolis, is a direct response to these changing tenant expectations. Instead of relying solely on market trends that once led to steady hikes in rental prices, landlords now find themselves in a race to match a new, more price-sensitive demographic. With tenants now having a broader array of options, the traditional model of rent escalation no longer applies. Instead, a constant balancing act is required, a balancing act between maintaining profitability and staying competitive in an increasingly fluid market landscape. Expert commentators in the field have noted that while the immediate effect of falling rents is evident in reduced monthly incomes, the long-term implications might be even more complex. Some experts posit that this could lead to innovation in property management, financial restructuring in real estate portfolios, and even a reconfiguration of urban development strategies. In many ways, this downturn in rental prices could stimulate a host of positive changes that encourage more equitable housing policies without sacrificing the incentives for property upkeep and improvement. However, the battle is far from over. For many landlords, the situation is dire and the pressure is mounting. Traditionally viewed as a reliable source of long-term revenue, rental properties are now facing unforeseen risks. A decline of this magnitude forces them to consider alternative strategies, such as remodeling older properties, diversifying their real estate portfolios, or even repurposing properties entirely to weather the storm. For those who have built their careers around steady rental income, the path forward is fraught with uncertainty. The prospect of lower rents, combined with an oversupplied market, could lead to waves of consolidation as smaller landlords find themselves unable to compete with larger, more diversified investment firms. At the same time, tenants stand to benefit in a market where affordability is increasingly prioritized. For those who have long battled skyrocketing rent prices, this downturn is a welcome relief. More affordable housing options could lead to greater social mobility, allowing people to live in areas that were once out of reach. Yet, this new affordability comes with its own set of challenges. Lower rental incomes might translate into lower investments in property maintenance, creating a potential future of neglected properties if landlords are unable or unwilling to invest in improvements. Thus, while tenants enjoy the short-term benefits of reduced costs, the long-term picture remains uncertain. The implications of these shifts extend beyond immediate economic benefits and losses. Local communities are grappling with adjustments that impact municipal budgets, local business ecosystems, and broader regional economic development. When landlords experience shrinking revenues, the ripple effects can reduce tax revenues and limit municipal investments, thereby hampering further public services. It is a cautionary tale. Structural economic changes, even those that initially appear beneficial by lowering living costs, carry complex long-term consequences that require careful management by local leaders and policymakers. Looking forward, experts forecast that this trend of falling rents will persist throughout 2025. While overall rental growth is expected to resume, the rate of increase is likely to remain subdued. Zillow's projections that single-family rental growth will hover around 2.7%, and multifamily properties will see even lower increases at about 1.3%, impart a crucial lesson. Future housing markets will be marked by incremental adjustments rather than the dramatic spikes of the past. For property investors and renters alike, this signals a market transitioning into a new phase, one in which careful strategy, informed forecasting, and adaptive policy will play central roles in fostering sustainable growth. In summary, the story of falling rents in America is as much about policy decisions and economic indicators as it is about human experience. In cities like Sarasota, Providence, Minneapolis, and Austin, we witness the stark realities of a market in flux. A market where aggressive housing policies and heightened tenant demand intersect to create unprecedented challenges for landlords. As smaller markets like Athens, The Villages, and Sunbury join these headline-grabbing cities, it becomes clear that the forces reshaping the rental landscape are both widespread and deeply interconnected. Today's analysis underscores the importance of understanding these trends from every angle. It is a story of rapid adaptation, uncertain futures, and the need for well-informed decision-making by all market participants. Whether you are a landlord grappling with reduced returns or a tenant exploring newfound opportunities, the evolving rental market of 2025 reminds us that economic trends rarely occur in isolation. Instead, they ripple outward, touching every facet of our urban experience. Stay informed on the evolving rental market and discover how these trends could impact you.